Guys, apparently there's a YouTuber called His Story. Sorry, I have it in a phone thing. It's because it's short. So yeah, we're gonna be reacting to it short. Just K and Dig and Don't reacted to it today, so I think it's my turn. His Story is the fastest growing channel. I think in about a year he's gonna pass Mr. Beast. Yeah.
A teenager
but let's watch this one.
For fun, then
that's not nice.
My dog had gone missing for a few hours, and when I finally found him, he was standing outside another house in my neighborhood. He was covered in bruises, his eye was swollen shut, and blood was still dripping down his side. The teenager walked out and didn't apologize. He just told me to keep my dog on a leash, or he'd do it again. I rushed him to the vet, but he was too far gone. I had to put him down just to spare him the suffering. That dog was the only memory I had left of my late wife, Helen. So I called in a few favors and found out everything about this kid. His school, his job, his girlfriend. He was enrolled at a Catholic private school, and when I told them what he did, they expelled him within the week. His girlfriend was vegan and an animal lover, so convincing her to break up with him was easy. I sprinkled in a few lies, and she destroyed his car for revenge. Then my friends and I posed as customers at his job and filed complaints until his manager fired him on the spot. His life was gone within days, and as he was walking home after getting fired, I ran him over with my truck. A teenager tortured my dog.
That's insane.
Do it again.
I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't too far though. I know he hit your dog and stuff, but running him over by a car is
Popular girls ranked every guy in our grade by attractiveness, so I ranked them by weight. Someone texted me, "Sorry bro," with a link. Every guy in our grade ranked by attractiveness and height. I was a 5. The comment next to my name said, "Average face, below average height, would not recommend." Other comments were worse. "Would be cute if he wasn't built like a middle schooler." The whole thing was anonymous, but everyone knew who made it. Tiffany and her crew. You couldn't miss Tiffany. Built like Jabba the Hutt stuffed into a Brandy Melville top. But she ran to school so nobody said anything. By the next Monday, 3 guys had deleted their socials. One kid, Darnell, stopped coming to school entirely. I saw his mom picking up his homework from the front office. She looked like she'd been crying. The girls thought it was hilarious. I heard Tiffany in the hallway saying, "It's just a joke. Guys are so sensitive." I tried to do it the right way first. Went to the school counselor and showed her the list. She said she'd look into it and did absolutely nothing. A week later, the list was still up with more comments being added. Someone ranked Darnell a 1.5 and wrote, "Generous." He still wasn't back at school. I caught Tiffany at her locker between classes. "The list is hurting people. Darnell hasn't been to school in 2 weeks. You need to take it down." She looked at me with this fake pity face. "Aw, are you upset about your little 5? Don't worry, I'm sure someone will settle for you eventually." Her friends howled. I didn't react. "So you'd be okay if someone did the same thing to you?" She laughed. "No one would dare." I nodded. "You're probably right." That night I sat in my room thinking about what would actually get through to her. Words didn't work. Authority didn't work. The only thing Tiffany would understand is feeling exactly what she made everyone else feel. So I opened a Google Doc and started typing. Got the weights from Instagram posts, beach photos, anything public. Estimated where I had to. Spent 3 days on it. Made sure it was brutal. Made sure Tiffany was right at the top. Friday lunch, I dropped the list at exactly noon. Within 10 minutes, it spread to every corner of the cafeteria. Girls were crying, screaming. One girl threw her phone across the room, but I kept my eyes on Tiffany. She was holding court as usual when someone handed her their phone. She squinted at the screen, scrolled. Her smile disappeared. Scrolled more. Her face went red, then purple. She was number 1, 187 pounds. Comment. Not even Ozempic could save this one. She stood up so fast her chair fell over. Her eyes scanned the cafeteria until they found me. I waved. She marched over with her whole crew behind her. "You think this is funny? This is disgusting. This is body shaming. I'm reporting you." I stayed calm. "Body shaming? That's crazy. It's just a joke." "This isn't a joke. This is harassment." "Is it? Because when I told you to take your list down, you said it was just a joke. You said guys need to stop being so sensitive." The cafeteria went dead silent. The difference is you ranked guys by height and attractiveness, things they were born with, things they can never change. I ranked by weight, something anyone can change if they wanted to. For the first time, she had nothing to say. Her friends backed away. We both got detention. Someone finally dared. The popular girls ranked every guy in our grade by attractiveness.
Why did His Story get detention? Nah, that girl deserved that. Nah. Alright, next one.
I walked into the parking lot and immediately noticed a frat guy making fun of someone mentally challenged. He was just trying to go inside when the frat guy stopped him, made him get down on his knees, and start cleaning his shoes. I felt horrible, because he actually started doing it. I started walking towards him ready to say something, but I could see him taking out his phone. Then I heard all of the other guys start laughing, because he was patting him on the head saying, "Good idiot." I was ready to call him everything he deserved, but then I froze. I looked over over and saw someone else walking towards him. This guy was absolutely massive. He was probably 6 feet 6 inches and looked like he could bench press my car. The worst part was he was absolutely seething with rage. The frat guy was too busy making fun of him to notice, but his friends saw him. They all froze, and just as the frat guy turned around, he slapped him so hard across the head, his entire 140-pound body completely folded like a chair. He hit the ground, and the big guy helped him up. Then he took his phone and made him clean his shoes. Every time he stopped, he slapped him. I walked into the parking lot and immediately noticed a friend.
That was so deserved! So deserved! Oh my gosh.
When I saw the girl who killed my son laughing at his funeral, I snapped. Not a seeing...
What? Wait, someone got killed?
Saw the girl who killed my son laughing at his funeral. I snapped. Not a seeing red snap. Not a crashing out snap. A cold, calculated snap. She had accused him publicly with no proof, but her father was a congressman, so nobody questioned her. The whole city sent him death threats until he couldn't take it anymore. The courts would never touch her, so I decided to handle it myself. 20 years as a cop meant I...
That's insane!
...people who owed me favors. I made one phone call. Remember when I let your brother walk? Time to repay that debt. Within 3 months, every dirty deal that congressman ever made was on the news. The feds didn't just arrest him, they seized everything. House, cars, bank accounts. His wife and daughter ended up on the streets. They went online begging for sympathy. That's when I spread rumors about her. How she'd falsely accused other boys before my son. How she destroyed lives for fun. People started recognizing her everywhere, throwing rocks at her head. One afternoon I was driving and saw her crying on the sidewalk with her mother, so I ran her over. When I saw the girl who killed my son laughing at his funeral...
Why are they running over? Like, running over people is too far. Like, that... I'm sorry, bro. That's too far.
The lockdown alarm started blaring in class. Lockdown, school shooter. Our whole class panicked, yelling to lock the door. But Mr. Carey said, "Wait, don't you want to see who it is? What are you doing? We need to hide." But he wasn't worried. There's no shooter. Sit down. The alarm kept blaring. I could feel my sweat starting to drip. All the other doors slammed and lights clicked off, except for ours. We were sitting targets. "Turn off the lights!" Amaya was crying. But he just walked to the window and opened the blinds wider. "Everyone needs to be visible. You're going to get us killed." But he wouldn't let us leave. "Sit your ass down." Kids were crying. Ashley was hyperventilating. We were the only lit classroom on this wing. Sarah asked, "Why are you doing this?" But he just checked his watch. He should be here any second. But someone started banging on our door. "Please, let me inside." He started walking over. "Let me in. He's coming." Our teacher started smiling. "Who's coming?" "I don't know. Someone with a gun. Please." I recognized the voice. I was my friend Jackson. I reached for the door, but he slapped my hand. "Don't open it." I fell backwards. "He should be here." "Who?" But then we heard it. Jackson screamed from the hall, then a bang. Then it was perfectly silent. And just then, our teacher smiled and opened the door. Everyone screamed, "No, it's the shooter!" We saw him walk in with a gun, and we were all ready to die. But instead of shooting us, he looked at our teacher. "Hey, Dad, Dad!" Sarah gasped. The man had a gun in his waistband. He pulled it out. "Nobody needs to get hurt. We only need her." Mr. Carey pointed at Amaya in the back. "Her," Amaya screamed. "Why me? Your mother is Judge Estes. She put my son away for 10 years. He just got out. That has nothing to do with me. She took my son. Now I'm taking hers." They started walking towards Amaya. Everyone was terrified, but I had a crush on her for years and knew I couldn't let this happen. I would do anything for her. I looked over at Blake and he gave me a nod. I knew what I had to do, so I stopped them, saying, "You can't take her." He pointed the gun at me. "Move." "No, then you die too." I thought about my mom, my little sister, but I couldn't move. Amaya was crying behind me, but I wasn't backing down. "Shoot him," Mr. Carey said. He pointed the gun right at me. I was staring down the barrel, but I knew something he didn't. But that's when Blake snuck up behind them, and I saw he was ready. I saw him pick up a chair, and just as he swung it down, I reached for the gun. It hit him in the head hard, knocking him over, red spilling everywhere. Mr. Carey lunged at me, but I pointed it at him. "Back up, you psycho!" He started moving away. "Just give me the gun, kid." "No, you don't know how to use it," but I didn't care. "Point and squeeze. I'll figure it out. I should shoot you right now." He kept backing up, right towards Amaya, and grabbed her. He pulled a knife from his pocket, holding it up to her neck. "Do it, kid! Don't miss!" He was holding her, and if I accidentally missed him, she'd for sure die. "Let her go!" But I knew I had no choice. "Say goodbye to her!" He raised the knife, stabbing downwards, and in that moment, I squeezed the trigger. The gun fired, the bullet whizzing past Amaya and hitting Mr. Carey in the shoulder. He fell back, just as the police burst in, and in that moment, we realized it was over. The lockdown alarm...
Let's go! That's W's! W's! That's W's. W's! Wait, which one are we at next? This one? Wait, I think it's this one.
My bank called and said someone just withdrew $100,000 from my account in Las Vegas, but I was in Pennsylvania. That was everything. 10 years of savings, emergency fund, down payment for a house, all of it gone in one night. I told them to freeze the account and rushed to the bank with numbing gel still in my mouth from the dentist. The bank pulled up the transaction details, multiple withdrawals from a casino, ATM starting at 1 a.m., 20,000, then 30, then 50. Whoever did this knew exactly how much was in there, and they had my debit card and PIN. That's impossible, I said. My card is right here, except when I reached for my wallet, it wasn't. My wife Rose called while I was still processing, "Where's your dad?" His phone's going straight to voicemail. I froze. My father was 72 and had been showing memory problems lately. Repeated stories, forgotten appointments. Last week he asked about taking my mother dancing. She'd been dead for 5 years. When's the last time you talked to him? 2 days ago? He seemed fine, but she trailed off. We both knew something was wrong. The bank manager showed me security footage from the casino, ATM grainy, but I could see someone in a baseball cap and jacket. Something about the way they stood looked familiar. When they zoomed in, my blood went cold. That was my father's Steelers jacket, the one I bought him 3 Christmases ago. I called him 15 times. Nothing. Called his neighbors. Called the police for a wellness check. They called back 20 minutes later. Car's gone. Mail piled up. Looks like he left days ago. Rose met me at his house. His medications were still in the cabinet, passport still in the drawer. But on his kitchen table was an old photo album open to pictures of my parents in their 20s. My mom wearing a showgirl costume. My dad looking young in a cheap suit. Underneath was a Vegas postcard from 1978. Then my phone rang. Nevada number. Is this Bryce Welts? Your father is at University Medical Center in Las Vegas. He's stable, but there's been a situation. I flew out that night. Found him in a hospital bed looking confused and small. The doctor said he'd been found at a roulette table at 6 a.m., disoriented, unable to remember where he was staying. He kept talking about his wife being in the Showgirl review. Kept saying he needed to win big to impress her. He thought it was 1978. Thought my mother was still alive and 24 years old. The dementia specialist explained that he'd taken my debit card during dinner 2 weeks ago without even remembering, then flew to Vegas thinking he was young again, trying to relive the trip where he'd proposed to my mom 46 years ago. I sat with him for hours, trying to accept that our savings were gone, that my father's mind was going, that he'd never fully come back to us. That's when a casino manager walked into the hospital room. My father hadn't just been withdrawing money, he'd been gambling and winning. He turned $100,000 into $512,000 over 48 hours playing roulette. But now the casino was investigating us for fraud. They thought we'd sent a dementia patient in on purpose to exploit gambling regulations. We spent 6 months in legal hell proving his condition was real and undiagnosed. Eventually they settled and let us keep the money. My bank called and said someone just withdrew and let us keep the money. My dad doesn't remember any of it. Sometimes he still asks when we're going to Vegas to see mom's show. My bank called and said someone just withdrew $100,000 from my account in Las Vegas, but I was in Pennsylvania. That was everything. 10 years of savings, emergency fund, down payment